Hello, everyone. This is Mariam. I'm the communication manager of MindWorks International, and I'm working with the YEMers. Um, Today is a very exciting, very different day in my usual. And another fellow YEMer has joined me. Her name is Aisha, and she is from Karachi. And just a few days back, I was just chit chatting with the Yemers about what topics, what social issues they want to discuss in this with this platform. And Aisha just pointed out that why don't we talk about colorism and how this phenomena has affected us Pakistanis um, in different aspects of life, especially women. So I'll let Aisha take the lead, and she's going to talk about what she thinks colorism is, what she has research on it, and we're going to have a very casual chit chat. Over to you, Aisha.
Yeah, so hi. So first of all, before we start, I should uh, tell you guys what colorism means, so everybody here is on the same page. So colorism is basically it's prejudice or discrimination against people, usually from the same caste or the same race, based on their skin color. So, for example, if you make friends based on whether they're light skinned or dark skinned, you think before even making friends, you think, oh, they're dark skinned, so maybe they're not that nice, or they're light skinned, so they're nice. That is example of colorism. And another example would be if you look at light skinned people and you think, oh, they're pretty, they're smart. And if you think, look at dark skinned people and you think, oh, they're ugly, they're dirty, or they're dangerous, that is examples of colorism. Yeah, so colorism is also present in different ways in our society. It's not just light skinned people thinking that dark skinned people are bad. It's also dark skinned people can be colors to other dark skinned people. So, for example, in our society, families might uh, judge their own children or their own cousins and nieces based on their color. That you could hear like some remarks like, "Don't wear black clothes to people who are dark skinned," right? That's also common. And also, people can be colorist to themselves. So, for example, a black skinned person, because they may think, oh, I'm not pretty, or they have self confidence issues due to that. That's also an example of uh, colorism.
Yeah, completely agreeing with you here. I would say that we do not think of this as much as we should. I would be completely honest here, and I think you would agree with me as well. Okay, before the Black Lives Matter movement started in the West, us Pakistanis were promoting such brands very openly on our market, on our televisions, on our social media, even. Um, so, where do you think this came from? Where did it start? Considering we shouldn't be as prone to this idea as the West, because I don't really think that we have the same history with the color of our skins as the West has or as America has. Where do you think colorism in Pakistani society came from?
Colorism was most blatantly or most obviously started when the British colonized Pakistan. Sorry, I mean South Asia. So before the British came, there were in ancient India, like none of the historical texts show any signs of discrimination. So even during that time, there were like deities or gods or heroes. They weren't based on skin color; they were just heroes. And then the Arabs, they invaded India, so that became the Muslim rule. But even then, during that time, even though the Arabs were lighter skinned, there were no signs of discrimination in in terms of your skin. British rule came, they considered themselves superior, and that's what they told everybody. They said that we are better and we are more intelligent, right? And then they vocalized that idea to everybody. So what they did was they built restaurants or made different places that didn't let dark-skinned people in. So only lighter-skinned people could go.
Yeah.
They also, in terms of like occupation, it was people of darker skin. They did not get high-ranking jobs. So the British or lighter-skinned people, they usually worked in the office or got official jobs, whereas the darker skins were either like houseworkers, slaves, or soldiers or sepoys. So then dark skin, it became associated with rank and with richness and power, right? That's why, and after years and years of mental conditioning and all this discrimination, the South Asian mindsets had come changed, and it became what it is today.
Completely agreeing with you. Also, now that you've said it out loud, I was just thinking that how, especially in our government um, organizations, the bigger companies, we would see that even today, um, the janitors and the kitchen ladies are usually seen of a darker skin color for some odd reason. Um, it is still embedded in our society even after years when the British have gone and we have formed our own government. But even today, especially in Islamabad, let me know what you see on the roads of Karachi. We would usually see darker skinned ladies picking up the trash on the road, or the darker skinned men in CDA waistcoats sweeping up the roads. It is still a big problem. And why haven't we excluded that? Why haven't we stepped away from this British brought issue? Why haven't we still stepped out? And what do you think that we can do to, eliminate this from our society?
So the reason why we haven't stepped out, I think the most obvious one is how our society treats people with darker skin. We would usually see, so for example, in the Rishta culture, when people get married, one of the requirements is having lighter skin. So like being gory is what people uh, require, and they get rejected on the basis of that. In like families, people would tell their children, "Coffee nahi piyo, kala rang ho jayega," right? And that is also factually incorrect, of course, because what you eat does not affect your skin color. And besides that, you would see parents comparing their own children and telling them she's darker skinned, she's lighter skinned, and like she's better and he's worse, and things like that. So people also still make fun of Black people. They give them derogatory names like "tum kali ho," uh, "apna makeup se karo," like "थोड़ा lighter skin shade डालो," वगैरह वगैरह. Yeah, okay. So in our media, we only see people of darker skin get roles as maybe house workers, or they don't even get any roles at all, if any. It's always the lighter skinned women and men that are the main characters. And even in our dramas themselves, you can see people being racist towards their own kind. Like, for example, I don't remember the drama name, but there was a man. He was told to make his skin lighter in order appear more attractive to the female lead.
That males also face this in our society just as much as women do, because it's not just a female. I mean, I would again think females are more affected by this colorism than males,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to the rishta culture.
yeah,
The irony is that happened right after the Black Lives Movement. I mean, um, we opened our eyes towards this issue, this huge issue, um, after the whole Black Lives Matter movement, which is so sad and so ironic that um, we had to wait for such a huge thing to affect the whole world to address the problems that we have in our society, when there is no issue of race, when there is no issue of where you're coming from. It's just the way we have taught, maybe the way um, society or our past has pushed us towards this issue. I would say if you go to a makeup store right now, the lady at the counter would push you towards buying a lighter colored foundation, or if you get your makeup done by some makeup artist at a big beauty salon, they will still do. They put this lighter color foundation on your skin just to make you look lighter and prettier. What steps do you think that we need to take to, slightly shift away from this?
So I think the very first part would be to look at yourself and see whether you're the type of person who judges people based on their color. And it doesn't matter whether you're dark skinned or light skinned, because you can be dark skinned and it's possible that you dislike yourself for being dark because of the way other people treated you, or you can be light skinned and you choose the type of people that you hang out with just because they're light skinned, or you think they're less pretty or less deserving, right? So you should look at yourself and you should try to change your mindset and accept yourself. Another thing that you should do is people who are dark skinned, you should have kind of like conversations with them. You should ask them about their experience and how they feel, to further understand what they go through and be more comprehensive about what they feel. But another thing you should do is you should stop using the words kali, black, brown, or dirty or melly as an insult, because that further creates lots of problems for people. When if you have children or you want to have children in the future, or you have cousins or maybe nieces, you should give them, like show them examples of dark skinned people and tell them, oh, don't you think she looks pretty, right? If you tell them that everybody is pretty and dark skinned people are pretty, they will also start thinking that way, and they will not have this internalized prejudice in them.
Even I have noticed, I would again second you here. I've noticed really young girls, 7, 8 year old girls who are a bit wheatish in their complexions. Um, they at that young age, when you're supposed to enjoy your childhood, when you're supposed to play outside in the park, they're like, "Nay, mama, I do not want to go because the sun is going to make me look darker and then I'm going to look ugly." At such a young age, for some odd reason, girls have that in their heads from the very beginning. Considering we need to I think we need to address the fact that we South Asians are wheatish, we are not white, and we do not come in very porcelain fair skin tones. This is what our complexion is like. Um, Again, we should start encouraging wearing our skin complexion and wearing whatever makeup that suits us. That
Yeah.
it shouldn't be about what makes you look lighter and what makes you look fairer. Um, we really need to address the fact that the entertainment industry has a huge role in looking pretty, um, as a fairer girl, as a lighter skinned girl. What would you say about that?
So for that, I think that we should, we as a society, we have power, and and our words hold a lot of impact. So maybe even starting like a social campaign on the internet could have a lot of effect. If you ask for a Pakistani industry to hire more dark skinned people, give them equal respect, give them equal opportunities as actors, models, or actresses, then it might have a lot of impact. And we should do is we should stop editing our photos to make them look
Yeah,
lighter.
great point.
And you also see this a lot. Even if there are dark skinned actresses, they would make their photographs lighter all the time.
And then they'll blame it on the camera aesthetics.
Which is also very wrong, because like in terms of art, if you have like one dark thing and one light object, then both of them kind of shine because of the contrast.
Let's rewind a little and bring your editing your photographs point back. This was a huge point that
Yeah.
was running in my head when we were talking about ways to end colorism. Um, where did this idea came from? Editing your color photos, putting on filters, Snapchat filters, or even Instagram filters that will make you look lighter. Where did this idea came from? You assess yourself, your skin color, or how do you see your friends or the people around you assess their skin colors as a teenager?
See, well, I personally don't really look at other people's skin color, because I find everybody to be beautiful regardless of that. But in terms of beauty, I can say that uh, people see, in social media, everybody posts perfect pictures, and even in movies and dramas, you always see everybody looking perfect, right? So that's why people start editing their pictures to make themselves look pretty, because you don't really see anybody with dark skin on social media. You don't really see people with pimples on social media. You always see certain kind of people with darker lips, smaller noses, and very Eurocentric features. It's always those type of people that you see around on the TV, and that's why and all on the social media. That's why when you post, you feel afraid that if I look this way, then people will make fun of me, and people will judge me, or I will not look pretty, or this picture will not get many likes. That's why people tend to edit them. And of
Coming back to the rishta topic, that one of those biggest thing that people get rejected, the women get rejected for rishtas in our society, is that they don't have a gora rang and they don't have um, a very nazuk se features that every other sas wants in our society. Um, okay, let's wrap this up. Let's talk about how we can address this problem as Yemmers. What can we do as Mindworks, as a part of this little community that can help or give our little participation in removing or trying to remove colorism from Pakistani society?
maybe if the smallest thing that everybody can do is just sharing a post or posting on social media, like trying to aware people that speaking up against it, speaking up against the prejudice, that could have a huge impact. Besides that, you could even point out some good, uh, some good uh, social media activists, some good social entrepreneurs. You can point those out and make a specific post for them to show that what they are doing.
Great ideas. Okay, I will give you my input. Why don't we get back to our WhatsApp group and why don't we ask? I'm pretty sure everyone, we have like 20 people in our group, right? And I'm pretty sure we all are of different skin colors. Why don't we go back to our WhatsApp group and we ask our fellow Yemmers um, to like hold a postcard saying a quotation about, you can think of something that we can put on this postcard. I'm pretty and I'm not white. I'm pretty and I'm not fair. Something like that.
Also, like, just thought of a point. We could also interview some darker skinned people and talk about their experience and share it.
Why would you like to take the lead for that? And just pop this idea in our
I
WhatsApp group at least.
Yeah, I could try that. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go back. We're
I
gonna
would be
take
very interested to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna say goodbye for now, and we're gonna hop to our WhatsApp groups, and we're going to talk a little about what we talked here. Let people know that we had a great conversation, and let's just share our ideas what we can do for this particular topic as Yemenis. Yeah. Great talking to you, Aisha. And I think that I also, learned a few things. And I would be more active and more mindful of these things in the future. I hope so. Um, let's just say goodbye here. And I'll be talking to you in a few minutes. It was pleasure talking to you. Pleasure having this discussion. Take care. Lafis.
I enjoyed a lot and thankful for this opportunity.
Bye.